Extra noses pounces on you, ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your bolts from across the floor. Noses your necky wacky till they Matilda, hee hee. Unzips your baggiest pants, oh baby, you so musky. Take me home, pet me, and make me yours, and don't forget to stuff me. See me like my widow baby tail.
Spill guts and glory, urban legend, I am that story. It's the killer killers, Captain MD, anti-personnel control. And I'm out of your control. I just do what I know, do it better than anyone I know. Then my body can't speak for me. I see where puzzle pieces fit and got the air of royalty. From a warrior bloodline, strong as identity. Underground survivor, know how to stay alive. Murder urban legend, knife to the throat with no hesitation. Quick cuts and keep moving. Draw no attention while I work up front in the background. Never wanna back down. Move up and keep using. Need God like power to be better than me, better to be a better me. I'd kill for that. And leading loyal squad willing to back any blade that I make. Spill a whole lot of blood if that's what it takes. Save lives, take lives. Simply prioritize. God goes to achieve. Now open your eyes, see past the lies. Let's play it like a blood sport. Fight for your life or die. It's your choice. Tell me the game, but I just can't. My patience for this is going dark after patience. Then the fun starts. The knives and guns come out. The option for living is getting revoked. My squad may leave you broken, but it may be me that slits your throat. Like a sheep or a goat. Remorse is the force of action is merely a byproduct of my focus. The closer I get, the more I'm willing to go beast mode. Still guts and glory, glory as it gets. I am that story. And God like power, make me a better me. I just wanna see. Let's play it like a blood sport. Fight for your life or die. It's your choice. Sometimes it's capture and kills. Watch the decision elements. Talk to the enemy just for the head of it. Tell me to care, but I just can't. My patience for this is going dark after patience. Then the fun starts. The knives and guns come out. The option for living is getting revoked. My squad may leave you broken, but it may be me that slits your throat like a sheep or a goat. Remorse is the force of action is merely a byproduct of my focus. The closer I get, the more I'm willing to go beast mode.
Conquer bedwetting and wake up feeling ninja-awesome with Ninjama's nighttime underwear.
So much shea butter, do.
Honey, men have skin too.
Hello, I am Taluli. Welcome back. Today's reading comes from r/Make Me Suffer. Oh, here comes the suffering. Oh my god. Well, I mean, not as much suffering from these posts as some of the hate comments that I read sometimes on YouTube. kind of entertaining, but at the same time, it's just like, wow, some of y'all are really angry over a meme video. you get really worked up over me commenting on some pictures from the internet. Although the vast majority were extremely supportive, and I love you. I'm excited. I love the haters too. You know, like you deserve love. You take it out on me, and I guess that's okay. It's just a comment on the internet. But holy wow! Let's get on it.
How the plate move this time? True. Okay, got the controller right. Okay. Yep. The Nether updates the Nether. New biomes, new mods, new materials, netherite, stronger than that. Oh, you crap, it's just a whole shit. Please no. Okay. I plan for this. Oh my fucking. Okay, you guys are gonna see this epic fight. Oh! streamers play music.
Sniper decoys. Dummy head. World War I. The First World War saw extensive use of snipers in combat. For the first time, rifles with telescopic sights were used on a large scale, which under the conditions of trench warfare were considered very effective. At first, the German Imperial Army were the only ones to seriously consider scoped rifles. As soon as the British and French were aware of the German successes with scoped rifles, they also introduced them to the battlefield. Even though sharpshooters existed before, it was the introduction of scopes that allowed them to shoot accurately at very long distances. With a scoped rifle, a good marksman was able to acquire his target very easily. He could kill an enemy that barely protruded his head over the trench parapet if he was fast enough. With such horrifying capabilities, snipers became an object of fear for the soldiers in the trenches, especially because they fired from well-concealed positions. Since the art of camouflaging was developing more and more as the war progressed, snipers became harder to detect. For soldiers whose everyday life was weighted by the threat of snipers, it became a necessity to counter this. Danger. With the awareness of the sniper threat widespread, soldiers paid a lot of attention not to expose themselves. This forced snipers to act quickly and to use the shortest moment to fire at the enemy. It was based on this hastiness that camouflage units designed their deception. Their intention was to force the enemy sniper into making a flawed decision and to draw out his fire so his position could be located. One of the most popular decoys of the war were papier-mâché heads. Papier-mâché was a very popular material before the war and was used in making dolls and various components for amusement parks, carnivals, and expositions. It was very cheap, but to make it consisted of chopping down pieces of paper, reinforced with any kind of bounding material, whether it was glue or plain starch. Besides the fact that it was cheap, it was also very good for modeling. The job of making decoy heads out of papier-mâché was entrusted to camouflage units, who were working in their small improvised workshops on the front lines. Sculptors working in these workshops made a huge variety of decoy heads with great precision and resemblance to real human heads. Special attention was given to shaping face details and coloring the face to look like real skin. This push for realism was necessary because they were to be observed through scopes with magnifying lenses. In order to increase the realistic look of the head, some of these were equipped with rubber surgical tubes connected to the mouth with a cigarette in it. By blowing air through the tube, an impression of a soldier smoking a cigarette was made. This increased the possibility of attracting the attention of the sniper. Papier-mâché heads were usually stuck on a long stick in order to securely lift it from the parapet. If the deception was successful and the dummy head was hit by a sniper, bullet holes were then used to locate the sniper with the help of triangulation method. Or another method was to slide a periscope into the head and spot the sniper that way. Once the approximate location was established, the sniper's position was bombarded by artillery, where counter-snipers would focus on that area. The technique of dummy heads was invented by the British, who at the beginning of the war had a lot of problems with German snipers. This method was a result of their struggle to fight the hidden enemy. The same method would also be used by other sides.
Where the hell am I?
Welcome to the draw, Jimmy. Better make yourself comfortable. You're gonna be here a while.
What do you mean? This guy never gets laid?
Well, combine high-speed internet porn and that bottle of cool water cologne over there, and you got yourself one hell of a dry spell.
Oh, well, that sucks. I was hoping to get some action.
The name's Rusty. Come on, I'll introduce you to the rest of the gang.
So, how long you been in here, Rusty?
I've been with this guy since freshman year of high school. He used to keep me in his wallet. Man, those were the times, right on the front lines, ready for action at the drop of a hat. But I never got in the game.
Whoa, high school? Are you still any good?
Not according to my expiration date. Who reads those things right before you're about to get laid, right?
That's actually pretty irresponsible, Rusty.
Hey, Rusty, who's the new meat machine?
Hi, my name is Jimmy.
Did I say you could talk, new guy?
All right, take it easy. Jimmy, this is Rod. He's ribbit.
For her pleasure, but you wouldn't know nothing about that, would you, kid?
Okay, take it down and out, Trod. You seem a bit tense. Maybe you should unravel a little bit. We got a possible code pink. Get ready.
Come on, man. You can do it. Bring it home.
He's only got one shot at this. You better make it count.
Come on, Rob. You take it off.
Okay. Whoa, boobs.
Robbie, did you just...
All in my pants.
Why would he put the banana back in the drawer?
So then the bartender says, "Rubber, I barely know." Sure.
Whoa, look at all these condoms. It's like a latex convention in here. I guess our owner Robbie's pretty serious about safe sex.
Times are changing, Jimmy. Back in my day, us condoms were kept secret. People used us, but nobody talked about it. We were like ninjas. We only came out when the lights went off, and that's how we liked it.
Well, change is a good thing, Rusty. Nowadays, people need to use us. The more we're used, the safer everyone can be.
Ooh, so like daytime ninjas?
What's with you and ninjas? Anyway, wait, look, I'll show you how much times have changed.
This episode is brought to you by My.Games, who recently launched their new competitive online first-person shooter for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One called Warface Breakout. With gunplay-focused, grounded gameplay inspired by the classic Counter-Strike, the game focuses on a classic competitive game mode where one team has to plant and detonate the bomb while their opponents try to stop them in their tracks. The rules are simple. Every match is a unique battle of tactical wits. Both teams earn credits by defeating opponents and playing towards the objective. These credits can then be spent on new weapons and equipment from the arms store at the beginning of each round. Breakout has plenty of customization options, and all the weapons have unique recoil patterns and gunplay styles. There are no battle passes in the game. All players get to receive free seasonal updates. Season 1 recently went live in Warface Breakout, having introduced ranked matches, seasonal challenges, and exclusive cosmetic rewards. 2020 is going to be a crazy year for the game. Breakout will get a lot of new content and in-game adjustments within this year. Click the link in the description below to try Breakout and its Season 1 challenges. Breakout is $19.99 US for the Standard Edition, and $29.99 US for the Deluxe Edition. Don't miss your chance to get Breakout on PS4 at a 20% discount as part of the Sony Summer Sale. EOD Suit. Bomb Disposal. Being an explosive ordnance disposal technician is one of the most dangerous jobs in the military. For EOD technicians, there is no way to evade the danger. Their job is to locate, identify, and neutralize an explosive device, whether it's an ordnance or an improvised one. It's a high-stake job where the slightest mistake could cost them their life. The beginnings of the EOD units go back to World War II. During the Blitz on London, many of the German bombs dropped on the city didn't explode. Some were even fused to detonate hours after they were dropped, designed to create the impression of a longer bombardment. St. Valentine's Day Massacre, Chicago, USA, February 14th, 1929. The location was the city of Chicago, and the year was 1920. It was at the height of the Prohibition, when it had become illegal to import, produce, or buy alcoholic beverages in the United States. The date was the morning of February 14th, Valentine's Day, a day for romantic gestures. Though the four men walking down North Clark Street hardly seemed to have got into the spirit of the occasion. They were grim-faced with a determined look. Two of them were uniformed police officers with revolvers drawn. The other two were in suits and ties, armed with Thompson submachine guns. Maybe these two were plainclothes detectives out fighting organized crime that was so rampant in Chicago at the time. The fact that they all had weapons drawn showed they meant business as they burst into the car garage at number 2122, a well-known hangout of the Moran's North Side Gang, the dominant Irish-American criminal organization. Then, just a few minutes later, there was a sound of rapid gunfire, and then all went quiet. About a minute later, the policemen emerged, with two prisoners with their hands up at gunpoint. So a successful raid capturing two gangsters after a short gunfight? Well, it was not all that it seems, for inside laid 7 men, each with multiple gunshot wounds. 6 were dead, and 1 would die a few hours later in hospital. It had been a very one-sided gun battle, as all 7 had not even had a chance to draw their weapons, having been caught totally by surprise.
The show gets me 4 points for their name, so after already was there. We gotta get a bomb again!
I can't remember.
What's your high school mascot, sweetie?
Oh, a Mustang.
No Mustangs!
So I was not invited to this thing. It actually wasn't a meeting at all. It was like a radio interview. So there.
Whoa. Okay. Luke, I'm going to put back on you. Don't need to yell. We can't hear you.
Hello. Oh. That's so scary. I wasn't thinking of that though.
Yo, what up?
Attack of the Dead Men, 1915, World War I. The Auschwitz fortress was constructed in the 19th century by the Russian Empire in what is now northeastern Poland to defend its borders against Germany. In the First World War, the fortress would be heavily contested between German attackers and Russian defenders. The Germans had made their first assault onto the fortress in September 1914, using large-caliber artillery guns, bombarding the fortress for 6 days. After intense shelling, the Germans confidently launched an attack on the fortress. However, Russian artillery and infantry counterattacks forced them back with a swift withdrawal. A second German attack was attempted in February to March 1915. The Germans were again optimistic with their new heavy 420mm caliber Big Bertha cannons. The fortress was bombed with intensity, including from the air, which it was presumed by the German command would cause the quick surrender of its Russian defenders. The Russian command also had a similar notion, ordered that the fortress be held for just 48 hours after the evacuation. Remarkably, even with massive damage to the fortress and high Russian casualties, it would be held for months, and the Russian artillery bombardment forced the German guns to again pull back. In early July 1915, the German troops were now under the command of Field Marshal von Hindenburg, who began a new offensive. This time, they decided to use poison gas to achieve their objective, as they knew the Russian defenders didn't have gas masks. 30 heavy artillery guns and 30 gas batteries were brought in range, and with the wind in their favor, the gas was launched at the fortress on August 6th. Along with the artillery bombardment, a dark green smog of chlorine and bromine moved towards the Russian positions. The grass turned black, and the tree leaves turned yellow. The Russian guns and shells made from copper were caked in a layer of green chlorine oxide. The Russian 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th companies were all but annihilated in the gas coverage. Once the gas had cleared, 14 German battalions numbering about 7,000 landwehr troops moved in to capture the burnt trenches. But as they approached the positions, a shocking sight took them by surprise as the remaining soldiers of the Russian 8th and 13th companies, who had come into contact with the poison gas, counterattacked with all they had left. These troops attacked the Germans with their bayonets, showing signs of chemical burns on their faces, with their bodies wrapped up in rags, spitting out blood and pieces of their lungs. The sight was so terrifying to the approaching German troops that they went into a panic, retreating back to their own positions and trampling over each other while falling onto their own barbed wire. The Russian forces then returned rifle fire and killed many of the retreating Germans with artillery. 2 weeks later, the remaining Russian survivors of the Auschwitz fortress evacuated. The newspapers would later call this the Attack of the Dead Men.
This episode is brought to you by Blinkist. Look, today we are all busy and have less and less time to do things. You may think you don't have time to read a book and improve your knowledge, but with Blinkist, you can. The reading app that has more than 3 million users around the world. Like our channel, Blinkist condenses history subjects into an easy-to-digest, concise form. The app takes thousands of nonfiction books and condenses each one down into 15 minutes that you can read or listen to. Blinkist is a digital learning app that condenses the key insights of 2,000-plus best-selling nonfiction books into powerful 15-minute packs that you can read or listen to. We recommend you read Hue, 1968, A Turning Point of the American War in Vietnam by Mark Bowden if you want to learn more about how America started to lose the Vietnam War, and Chernobyl, The History of a Nuclear Catastrophe by Serhii Plokhy for another great Cold War history. The first 100 people to click on www.blinkist.com/simplehistory in the description box below are going to get unlimited free access for 1 week to try it out. You'll also get 25% off if you want the full membership, and you can cancel at any time during that period. So get in there fast. Viet Cong booby traps. The Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, most of the operations U.S. Armed Forces conducted against Viet Cong insurgents and the North Vietnamese Army took place deep in the jungles. As part of the South Vietnam pacifying program, General William Westmoreland, commander of the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War, applied the search and destroy tactic. The tactic included reconnaissance patrols deep in the insurgents' territory with the aim to find and eliminate their strong points. For the Americans and their allies, these missions were highly dangerous. As well as patrolling far away from their bases, soldiers were exposed to ambushes from an enemy that was well hidden and much better accustomed to fighting in the harsh environment of the jungle. However,
You